Welcome back, everyone. We're still staying with Ekiti State. We are not done just yet. And it's just not about Ekiti alone. It's about the APC in Ekiti State and the governorship primary held yesterday. Amidst all the agitations and grievances expressed by some of the aspirants, the chairman of the primary committee, Governor Abubakar Badaru of Jigawa State, has been reacting to the issues. We caught up with him earlier today in Abuja. Take a listen to this interview with Governor Badaru. It's a pleasure talking to you, Your Excellency, Governor Badaru of Jigawa State. Thank you so much indeed.
It's really my pleasure.
You just arrived in Abuja from chairing the committee that conducted the APC governorship primary in Ekiti State. But that primary, that election, has been bedeviled by allegations of fraud, allegations of rigging, in favor of a certain candidate. And 7 of the candidates, almost at the last minute, said they were not happy and they were calling for cancellation. Is that exercise full proof that it was a free and fair one?
Yeah, sure. It is indeed a free and fair election exercise. You see, a day before, that is exactly on Wednesday, in the afternoon, we had meeting with all the aspirants. 7 attended that meeting, and we have agreement on where to proceed on the election. And we all agree. We parted ways happy. Issues were raised, including the issues they raised in the morning. Their main allegation was that those that are to be the local persons in charge of the election, that's the returning agents, and those that for those wards are local governments. Some of them are government employees. But our guideline says the party members should take good care of the exercise. We are sent only 7 of us, and there are 177 wards and 16 local governments. So we need to take people from the local party members to man those wards and local government. They raised that issue at the meeting. And I said, okay, if you are not happy with the list of people that are supposed to work on their primaries, why don't you submit 2020 from your own so we incorporate them in the list? And they said, okay. I asked them, will that be okay? They said, okay, we have video for that meeting, and we have minutes and video for that meeting, where they said it's okay. And indeed, they sent the list of 2020 people, which we incorporate in the main list and the posting. And early in the morning, we sent to them the posting, including their men, the whole list of posting, including their men. We couldn't send earlier because some of them sent to us the list around 10, 11, some even 11:30. And so we have to work on the list again. And in the morning, we send the list to them, each ward, who will be there and how, and their people are included on that list.
So there was no way that the committee could have verified the names, because the major allegation was that the list of local government election committee and the ward election committee were made up solely by party members and political appointees that had before now openly endorsed the candidate of Biodun Yebanji, the one that has been anointed by the governor.
Well, that was the issue they raised at our meeting.
But were you able to verify the list before that?
And we verified the list, but what we said is, since that is the case, you also bring 2020. So it is not only from the alleged supporters of Biodun that we take, but we also take from you. And they were satisfied with that agreement. And we took their list, incorporate them. So if they said some of them are loyal to Abiodun, we include 2020 from them that are also loyal to them. And above all, Shehu, we asked them to provide enough agents in all the ward centers so that they will check what is happening. And I make it clear that if they are afraid that somebody will take the result sheets and write result and return to me, I will never accept result written where primaries did not take place. And that was what happened. In 177 wards, only 11 wards, primaries could not take place because of violence, and I did not accept the results for those 11. And all these things are on video.
Have you verified or confirmed the cause of the violence?
Well, they said most of the 11 local governments are traced really to some of the aspirants. For instance, there is a local government where 5 wards election did not take place. They tell us the situation, they send some videos to us. And that ward apparently is where there is the base of one of the candidates, aspirants, I mean. So they decide not to do it and disrupt it, and I canceled. I didn't take result from those wards. So if there were issues in other wards, they could have raised alarm and call me or call the secretary, tell him, so what, there is an issue. So what, they wrote result. So what, they didn't do the election. But every ward of the 166 that election took place, it was done freely and fairly. And if they have people in those places, and if things are done badly, it could have been a problem, and that could have been the same with the 11 that happened. Yes.
As an experienced politician and someone who would abided by the tenets of democracy, when more than half, in fact, the majority of those who are running in that election agitated, and just in the early hours of that election, they said the process is not fair, and they were calling for the cancellation. I mean, should you have yielded to their clamor to say, okay, let's start from the beginning?
No, but there is no basis, Cheryl. There are people that we met, not quite 12 hours or 16 hours, and agree on how to run this election.
But they said that what they agreed on was not.
No, it is exactly what was attended to. We incorporated the number of people they bring, because that was the major issue at that meeting. And we incorporated those people, and we sent to them the list of those people on the list. And we asked them to post them, to send them to those areas. And that has been done. So there was no any other issue that was not attended to.
Would you say the candidate that the party is presenting is, compared to the other aspirants, is as strong to be formidable enough to run in this election? Is it popular enough?
Well, that is what we have seen was the primaries. You know, that is the advantage sometimes of direct primaries, because in direct primaries it's actually the party members that chooses a candidate, and they come out in mass. And you have to believe me, you are representative. The representative of channels have been in Ekiti, and they have gone round, and they have seen people coming up. It's not a primary that was written in one room. It is a primary that was done on the field. So everybody see what happens in all those 166 wards that election took place. And there are videos all around for that, for each ward.
I'm very sure that you have heard that you also went to Ekiti State to do the bidding of your friend, Governor Fayemi.
But whoever...
Those are the allegations.
Yes, that is the allegation. I hear a lot of allegations, even money, what and this. But that will always come in politics. People will allege different things. But they know, and they know, all the aspirants know, that nobody in this country will make me write a result that is not genuine.
Badaru is not that kind of person.
I can never, and you know, I can never sit down and write somebody's result. Nobody can push me to do that. I can't. So and let them come and challenge that we wrote the result and the election didn't happen, or the primaries didn't happen.
So it's foolproof, watertight, what you have done?
Certainly. If you decide to boycott, and those other people went there to conduct the primaries, fine. But even in some, they got some votes. And some participated. In some of from the reports I get, in some of the wards, their agents were there fighting to get the election done. And if they are popular, if they really boycott, why would they only get the boycott in 11 out of 166?
What did you discover? Because as a sitting governor, you're not just a sitting, you're ranking, you're a two-time governor. So you must have seen something that went wrong in the politics of the APC in Ekiti State. You're a leader of the party. The party is somewhat in disarray after that primary.
No, it's not.
What have you discovered?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
With those big wigs that are angry.
They are angry, but I'm sure they have the party at heart. And they also, we discuss, they also people of proven integrity. And they know what happened there. And they care about the party. And they want to retain power in Ekiti in the party. And I'm sure we'll go back to discuss and go back to agree. And above all, right in their heart, they know I did not connive with anybody to shortchange them.
Not even your friend Fire?
No, and he asked Fire me, even Fire me will not ask me to do the wrong thing. Believe me.
Why would he not do?
He will not.
Why?
He knows I will not do.
Why? What does he know about you that makes him think so?
He knows, we have been around for some time.
So, I mean, in all of this, what happened in Ekiti in terms of the violence, in terms of some of the discrepancy, do you feel...
No discrepancy.
No, well, I mean, people who had violence and the issue of people getting angry and not happy with the alleged discrepancy and all of that. Do you fear that this case might go to court and it might affect the chances of your party?
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think there is any reason to go to court. And like I've said, they are experienced politicians, people of proven integrity, and they know that the party comes first. And they all do things and have advantages in one way or the other, in sometimes on the party's platform. And I'm sure they will respect what we have done, and they will come together to work with us to deliver Ekiti State to APC.
As a governor, you probably would have seen something from yesterday and now that you're thinking maybe Governor Fayemi should have done a few things. What are those things that you think he should have done to have avoided this kind of mess?
No, but I asked him, haven't you discussed with this? He said he discussed with most of them. But people want to aspire, they have right to aspire. But he's going to reach out to them, certainly from today, to have discussion. And I will reach out to some of them to clear their mind that all those allegations that were going around are wrong, and prove to them with videos and evidences that we did the right thing.
You have evidence?
I have.
That
I have videos in most of the wards where the election took place, and people, some of the members of the committee were there to ask people around, is everything okay? Are you doing well? How is it? We have some of those videos.
So, I mean, this is just a means to an end. The election itself is the big deal. With what you've seen, do you think that your party in Ekiti stand a chance against, for example, the PDP?
Very much so, because with all those allegations, I went to maybe 10, 15, 20 wards yesterday, moving freely to check what is going on. So if there is real actual tension or problem, I wouldn't have been moving around in Ekiti with those allegations.
Because there were tape videos going around where you find some members of the party who were there to vote saying they will not vote, no voting, no election in Ekiti, no governorship election in Ekiti. I'm very sure you have heard and seen some of those.
Sharon, you can also organize 20, 30 people, 50 people. This is politics, to do those shouting. Well, you have to go on the ground in the field. If this election was disrupted in maybe 50, 60 wards of the state, then there would be concern. But 11 out of 177. So, I mean...
Would you have preferred that the party adopted the indirect rather than the direct mode?
Whatever model you take, there will be allegations.
No, I'm saying that in
Because
in the manner in which the conduct went, I mean, would it have been easier
no,
or more effective to have conducted an indirect primary?
But whichever primary you choose, there will always be allegation. People will not be satisfied in one way or the other. The same thing and the PDP come, they have just finished. They did indirect, and there were also allegations. People were not happy with what happened. It's politics. People want their interest. If they are winning, that is the best. If they are losing, everything is wrong. That is how it is. But I am happy that we did direct, because going round, and the report I have from all the other six members of the panel, because we share them. Each one takes, some takes 2 local governments, some take 3 local governments. We went out at 8 and returned at 6 to be sure that we supervise ourselves what is happening in all those wards. And the report I'm getting is people are coming out to votes. And out of 183 registered members, about 107 were out there. 107 were out there to cast their vote. And this is real.
Interesting. I mean, which will point me to your national convention is just a few weeks ago. I mean, away from today. In fact, it's less than a month from today. And so there are a lot of issues on the ground in your party. And I know that your friend Governor Buni is in the center of all these organizations. What is your biggest fears, or your biggest fear as in relation to the national convention?
Well, the biggest fear is the success of the party. A successful party will certainly have so many people aspiring to be something in the party. And that is what we are seeing now. So many contestants in different posts. But that we cannot say is a fear, it's a luxury. Because certainly we'll come over it, we'll negotiate and have consensus and come out of that convention stronger than ever.
You think that consensus is a good way to go?
It's a good way to go, and I'm sure the leader of the party, President Muhammad Buhari, will support that concession so that we come out stronger. And I think all the governors are poised to making sure that we reach some level of consensus before that day so that we will have smooth convention.
Are you thinking that the president is willing to intervene in the matter?
I'm very sure he is the father of the party. He's the leader of the party. So I'm sure he lives with the party at heart. And when situation warrants him to interfere to make sure that it is done well, he will do so.
So consensus is a good way for the party to run?
It's a good way for the party to run because of the popularity of the party, because of the successes of the party, there are a lot of people aspiring to be. So the best is to have some level of consensus before we go to the convention and all have minimum contest before we go to the convention.
Would your party be considering for the presidential election to zone to the south? Do you think it's a fair way to go?
Well, it has not been discussed yet at the party level, but the zoning will come out soon for the party offices. And I think the Mala leadership will come up with the zoning formula that will be endorsed by the governors and all the party leaders. And if that is done, we will now probably from that have a cue on where the president will come.
As a politician, after President Buhari's 8th year in office, for the APC, where I'm asking you, this is a personal question, not as a party now, but from your own point of view, Governor Badaru, where do you think the president should come from in 2023 from your party?
Well, like I've said, I'm the chairman of strategy committee that probably will do the zoning. So I cannot comment on this issue publicly. I have my personal opinion, but I believe justice must be done in this matter.
And what will be justice?
When we come to discuss at my meeting, like I said, we will come up with that. But I am the chairman of the strategy committee, and I am certainly one of the people that will look at the zoning situation. So I cannot preempt what will come out from that meeting.
Some people will describe the situation in your party, that your party is in a state of disrepair. with what is happening internally. People are aggrieved. The Senator Abdullahi Reconciliation Committee is going round. Even at that, people are still saying they don't believe in that committee because, according to them, they don't think that that is going to work. And there are fears that as soon as President Buhari's tenure is over, that is the end of the APC. Do you fear that at the exit of some major personalities and characters in the APC, that the APC may have just bid themselves goodbye in the mainstream of Nigeria politics?
No, I have no such fear at all. And what is happening today is normal. It's normal with human beings. It's normal with success. It's only a successful family that have crisis. It's only a successful family that have food in the table to share, that one will say, I did not have enough, and the other will say, I want that piece. So we are a successful family. We will be afraid if things like this are not happening. But you've seen, in every day, every week, we see people joining us or discussing on ways to join the party. So whatever situation you see in the party, it will be calm. People will work with the party because the formation that come to be called as APC are people that will certainly work with APC and believe in APC.
Because the question a lot of people are asking again is whether or not you are optimistic that your party will not disintegrate after the President Buhari's tenure. And the question again that you need to answer is whether or not your party has been able to live up to the expectation based on the promises you made at the campaign.
Well, I assure you, given the circumstances, President Muhammad Buhari has done very, very well, given the circumstances.
Without the proviso of circumstance. In the face of the performance.
Now, let me tell you
would
this.
You say, based on the promises?
He has done excellently well.
All right. Thank you so much, Governor Badaru. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.